Hi, we're the Psychic Twins. I'm Terry.
And I'm Linda. Nxivm, pronounced Nxivm. It's spelled weird, but it's pronounced Nxivm, like the heartburn medication. And it turns out that people were born in more ways than one by this one. Nxivm began as a multi-level marketing operation in 1998 in upstate New York. Keith Raniere started an experiment, which was a series of seminars to help people heal from traumas. He had started a pyramid scheme back in the 90s called Consumers Byline, and that was forced to shut down because pyramid schemes a lot of them are illegal. The majority of the funding, which was $150 million, came from the trust fund of Sarah and Claire Bronfman, who were heiresses to the Nxivm liquor fortune. Very powerful family. It has been revealed that the Nxivm group has close ties with billionaire families, very, very powerful families like the Rothschilds and the Bronfmans, and I think even the Clintons.
The Ross Institute describes Nxivm seminars as expensive brainwashing. Nxivm has also been accused of being a recruiting platform for a cult in which women were forced into sexual slavery and even branded.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
like
there's
cattle.
Yeah, there's growing evidence that this alleged self-help group, I say that in air quotes, was just a front for human trafficking.
In early 2018, the founder, Keith Raniere, and his associate, the First Lieutenant Allison Mack, were arrested and they were indicted on federal charges, including sex trafficking. Most mainstream media reports will say sex trafficking, but the fact is a lot of the charges were sex trafficking of children. Keith Raniere was known to have raped a 12-year-old girl. We say this allegedly. She came out and said he raped her many years ago. And even a 15-year-old girl came out and said the same thing, that he sexually assaulted her over a period of time. So we don't know why the media is refusing to say sex trafficking of children.
Well, they probably don't want to get sued until the trial.
That could be, but that's one of the official charges. Sorry.
Well, Raniere is also accused of having a history of pedophilia with accusations that stretch back over 20 years involving girls as young as 12. Similar to Scientology's L. Ron Hubbard, he did a 1950 handbook called Dianetics that was billed as the modern science of mental health, and its pseudoscientific methods were, in his view, world-changing. We have friends that have escaped from Scientology and
written books about it.
Yeah, and have written bestsellers about it.
It's pretty scary.
Keith Raniere is, as Linda said, Nxivm's 57-year-old founder and leader, believed his organization could heal individuals and transform the world. Don't they always say that in cults?
Always.
The way Nxivm did this was through techniques or technology meant to rewire your emotions.
The leaders called it a unique human development and women's empowerment movement. Keith Raniere was this geeky kind of guy who just thought he was all that. He coerced women to have sexual relations with him. He went by the name Vanguard. It was
Vanguard.
I think it was some video game name of some hero that killed people and got more power or something like that. He led very expensive trainings with 16,000 students since 2005. He called it a self-improvement group to work on healing sexual wounds with the goal of enlightenment. People are insecure and vulnerable. People wonder, how could so many intelligent women get involved, get roped into this crazy group? But the fact is, a lot of artists and actresses are very vulnerable. They're sensitive people, and they're looking for some meaning and purpose outside of their striving for acting roles, and they feel sort of empty or lost. A lot of these people are broken from previous emotional abuse and sexual abuse, and so they're traumatized. And they're looking for something more. They're looking for a kind of a guru, a lot of people, not just Hollywood, but all over.
And that's fine to reach out, look around, and try different things.
Yeah.
We don't say you shouldn't try different things.
No, we did too.
But this guy Raniere presented himself as a great philosopher, apparently. A scientist pushing the boundaries of human capability.
He thought that he was brilliant, and the women thought that he was kind of a genius, I think.
Why? Anyway,
he was very charismatic. He was.
Are you kidding me?
No, I mean, as hard as that is to believe, a lot of these women were completely manipulated by this guy over a period of years, and it was mind control, it was grooming. He worked on them over a period of time to break them down, to break their walls down.
Well, there was another leader of the group, Allison Mack. She lured women into the cult for Rainier to commit sex acts with.
For many years, yeah. She was his right-hand
She
gal.
was Clark Kent's friend on this TV show. And
Actress Catherine Oxenberg's daughter. Her daughter got roped into this cult, lured in quite a few years ago. She's a beautiful girl, and her name is India. And she's been trying to get her daughter India out of this cult for years. India apparently has given $1 million or more to this group.
well, her whole inheritance basically has gone into this guy Rainier and his group, Nxivm.
It's so awful because she's refusing to see that this was a dangerous thing, or continues to be a dangerous group, a cult-like group that she can get out of. She may need to be deprogrammed. There's people that do that. It's very much of a cult. I've done a great deal of research about this group, and it's frightening.
I felt like I was in university for my soul.
Mack appears in a series of videos alongside Raniere, speaking about creativity and enlightenment. Actress Catherine Oxenberg, known for her role in Dynasty, says her daughter India is in Nxivm. Last year, she told NBC's Megyn Kelly she's desperate to get her daughter and other women out.
It breaks you down. It locks in a new identity, like a cult persona, is what I've been told. And then it makes you submissive and suggestible. So the end result is you have women agreeing to do things like to hurt themselves.
So Catherine Oxenberg is desperate to get her daughter out. Another weird thing was Rainier insisted that the women in his group eat no more than 900 calories a day. He wanted them rail thin. He restricted their diets, and he liked them almost anorexic, and you saw how thin Allison Mack is in the pictures, the actress. She was super thin. Well, all the women had to be that way, or else he would berate you or punish you, undermine you.
or ostracize you like a lot of cults do.
They tried to get him to have sex with the women, and if they resisted, Allison Mack was known to have said to them, if you don't have sexual relations with Rainier, then you will be destroyed. Literally said that kind of thing to them, and so that they would be afraid, because here's the thing, they were made to do what was called collateral, or considered a kind of collateral by Keith and the group. They were forcing these women to take nude photos of themselves, videos of body parts, videos of them doing things to themselves that were so compromising, and even making statements about family members and negative statements about family members or friends.
They would blackmail them.
And they used this as insurance against their leaving. They would threaten to blackmail them, and then because they were so afraid then that they would use these things against them, they got them to do even more horrible, compromising things.
And some of the women claimed that they were raped.
Yeah, a bunch of them did.
Well, Rainier believed that women should be subservient to men, and he kind of formed a harem of women.
Yes,
around
at least
him.
a dozen that were on his on-call.
Yeah, he would allegedly use hypnotic induction, hypnosis, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming techniques, and the women
The whole
all took
gamut.
this vow of obedience.
He really did have almost total mind control over these poor women, who actually were very intelligent people when they went in there.
Oh yeah, these women are very, very bright. And they had jobs outside of this.
Oh yeah, they had
cult.
careers. They were successful. A lot of them gave more and more money to the group. They even approached Kelly Clarkson and people like that to join the group. You know, they would send them, emails and tweets and post on their Instagram pages and invite them to come to sessions and learn about it. So they were aiming for the high-profile Hollywood stars.
Former member Sarah Edmondson, who was, I believe, in the group for 12 years, was it?
About 12 years.
Describes how she was branded in her lower abdomen with Rainier's initials, and we're not going to tell you because it gets very graphic. We're going to spare you that part.
In Edmondson's complaint, she says she was told that the brand was a Latin symbol. Later, she says she realized it included the initials of Nxivm's leader and those of a fellow actress.
And the 4 elements were Keith's initials from one side and AM for Allison Mack from Dead On. but I didn't see that at the time.
Citing the fact that Rainier had a cast of girlfriends, the media declared that Nxivm was not a self-improvement company at all, but a sex slave cult. And that's what a lot of people are referring to it as now, a sex slave cult. Members believed that Rainier could heal them of all these emotional traumas and set them free from their fears and their attachments, clear patterns of destructive thinking and blocks to their winning in their lives. Some believe that he could heal them sexually too, which is odd because the way he went about it was so strange. Blindfolding women and leading them into these sheds and pinning them down and having other people there filming. That's re-traumatizing at best. That's not going to heal you of any sexual traumas in your past.
It's kind of like the white collar spiritual path instead of wearing orange monk's robes, you know.
Yeah.
This is supposedly like the new age
New
spiritual path.
agey, and a lot of people did think it was sort of white collar, where more high profile women tended to go, or people that were more educated would go.
They bought it.
Try to be healed.
Well, shockingly, Allison Mack readily took credit for coming up with the whole branding idea of Allison Mack. Former Nxivm publicist Frank Parlato said that she was a troubled woman and that she was both a victim and an abuser. And so often this does happen if you're abused as a child, particularly for long periods of time, you may become also a victim and an abuser of other people, male or female. Mack was both a victim and a victimizer. She was both a mastermind and Rainier's useful idiot, he said. Her nickname among defectors is Pimp Mack. And this is Parlato talking.
And so Parlato actually turned from publicist to whistleblower, and that's why he's spilling the beans.
Well, she was known as Pimp Mac. So now she's, in jail.
Yeah, and she was apparently very militant with people. She would scream at them if they didn't do what she said.
Allegedly.
She became like a little lieutenant. Yeah, allegedly. Could really scream at people and get them to fall in line, and it's almost like a past life as a general or something. She really was, I think, very disturbed because when she was 11 years old, she actually made a softcore porn movie called Night Eyes 3. And 11 years old, and to be forced to make a movie like that, which, was clearly inappropriate for a little girl. And I think that she was sort of, the mind control started back then when she was young. Sure. In the movie industry and the TV industry and music industry. We've talked about these things in the Illuminati videos we did. So go look at those because you'll understand a little bit more how this mind control thing works in Hollywood. It's very, very dangerous. And we want people to be careful, getting involved in things like this too early in life. It can really screw you up. Thankfully, a federal investigation was finally opened.
That's good.
And Rainier was arrested in Mexico.
It was like a resort. He was living the high life, with all the money.
Later last year. He's now in a federal jail in Brooklyn. Mack was also arrested, and she was later released on $5 million bail. Actually, Rainier and Mack were charged with sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit sex trafficking as well as forced labor. The women were forced to do chores, apparently. Also, Rainier his lawyer asked for the ability to be let out on $10 million bond or bail, and they refused. So he's still in prison awaiting his trial.
Good. Well, a trial has been scheduled for October 2018. It's coming up. If convicted, they could do life in prison, you guys.
15 years to life.
Mac's lawyers are working on a plea deal,
For
of
her,
course,
yeah.
and she has pled not guilty.
I don't think she'll get as much time as he gets. I think this guy will do many, many, many years in jail.
What topics do you want us to talk about next? Also, we just want you guys to know that we're new on Instagram and the link is below, so follow us there.
Please do.
We're having a lot of fun with all of your
It's
posts.
great. We really enjoy you guys posting.
No, we
Enjoy
love
them all.
it. It's great because we're artists and actresses and models, and we do all the visual stuff. So we're having fun with it.
it's
Thanks
really
to Lola
fun.
for starting that fan page for
Lola
us.
Bell, we
We're
love you.
taking over the fan page that Lola started for us. You may be interested in our other videos about the Illuminati and also energy vampires. This all has to do with what we were talking about. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe,
And we'll see you in the future.